Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Conversion Code Podcast. My name is Travis Halverson. I am joined by my co-host, Ryan Netter.
Yellow.
Netter.
Yellow.
The Netter. I love when John Bowler called you Neater, and I correct him. Ryan's like, don't correct him. I'm like, it's your fucking name. Of course I'm going to correct him. You're like, it's okay. I get called it all the time. I was like, correct them.
The CEO from Wailopo goes, Neater. And I said, Howard. He's like, Neater, when are you going to come back? And I said, as soon as you get my last name right. And he goes, no, I'm just going to keep calling you Neater. I know it's Netter. And I was like, God, awful.
What a legend.
Oh, there you go, Howard. You can be on your own schedule, buddy.
That's actually funny. I do love that, actually. Well, anyway, we just got done talking about simplification. We talked about just sticking to your core principles and your core standards. No need to get away from your basics if you actually just stick to them from the very beginning.
Yeah.
No need to get back to basics, right?
Yeah.
As John Shepard says. What are we going to talk about today, Ryan?
Well, the tangible things that, again, from the last one, we're just trying, and guys, if it seems repetitive, again, I hope it's repetitive, because we need
I'm going to have to say it 7 times.
Yeah, I think...
we're going to do 70 episodes.
I think it's funny, because even inside
Same
Livy and everybody,
thing.
Just it keeps thinking, like, Travis and Ryan get upset, and it's like, no, we've just been saying this same thing since day one, really.
What did I posted
maybe refined
something.
it in a better way and slowed it down.
I forgot I just posted something on Facebook, and they were... I said, it was like a quote towards like our numbers, and I said, having agents that follow a simple path laid out in front of them make my life so much easier. Stay consistent, show up, and work harder than the person next to them. That's all I ask out of my agents daily.
So easy to
And then
those people.
Victoria and Madison both comment, and Victoria goes, I'm sorry, what are you trying to say right now?
One of our agents in
I said, I'm just saying, get on this training, Victoria, and just listen to me. That's all I need from you guys to do. So, no, it's good, though.
But, yeah, so tangible things is that guys were looking at how to try to kind of simplify yourself and give you those tangible things, because simplifying your database, like how do you start just to move people out of the eyesight that you're always like, I have to hit up these people all the time. I hope David Wright listens to this one day, but David Wright, even if leads are in his agent's names, every day they got to call those people. Yep. I was like, you're an animal, David. I go, if we can get you doing a little bit of a rhyme and a rhythm to this, we are going to be good. You know what I mean?
It's always...
But it's insane.
And the funny thing is like every single time, it's like I feel like it's kind of not bad, but it's kind of annoying that we have to talk to the CEOs in a sense of, I don't want to talk to the CEOs. I want to talk to the agents.
Yeah.
The CEOs got to become CEOs because they were good at what they did and they followed their own simple process. Yeah. I don't want to change what they do. I want them just to agree with us and make sure their agents do what we tell them to do. Because if that's the win right there. Yeah. The CEO that's not performing anymore doesn't need to be the person following our process. You just do what you're doing. I say it to Jeremy all the time. Jeremy, keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. You're doing great. Yeah. Doing great, sweetie. I love it. But the thing is everybody else, I just need I need you to tell them that you're doing what we say to do, so then they start doing what they say to do. You know what I mean? It's like, it all comes from top down. Top down, you know what I mean? Like, they will just follow the process if you tell them to.
And the detail that we're getting in, guys, in a lot of the conversation that's always happening is, okay, Ryan, these people are my name, but they are my past client. They closed. They are my center of influence. They are my sphere of influence. So we have SOI.
Hold on.
COI.
Yep.
Closed.
Yep.
Past client.
Yep.
I feel like those are the 4 probably.
I want every single person listening to this to grab a piece of paper or bring up the notes pad on their phone, and I want you guys all to write these down. You have closed, as you said. You have your past client. You have your sphere of influence, and you have your circle of influence. Okay? You write down those 4 things. If you write down those 4 things, you define them. If you realize that you define them, then you figure out what kind of cadence that you'll actually have for follow-up. People don't realize that there's a difference between their circle of influence and their sphere of influence. I say it a lot because I failed geometry, but I'm pretty sure that circle is smaller than a sphere, okay? Like a sphere for a reason. So you have your circle of influence. These are people that know, like, or trust you. These are your people that will, no matter what, from today until the end of time, they will use you as a real estate agent. They will buy with you. They will say, like, you know what? Thank you, Travis. You've marketed it to me. You've done all these great things. However, I'm going to use Ryan. However, I'm going to use Stacy. No matter what, I could send them everything. I could send them their dream home. I could send them whatever they want to see. But the thing is, they'll still reach out to that agent that they know, like, or trust. That is their circle of influence. Okay? That's also not technically their sphere of influence. That's their circle. It's probably about 150 people.
Raving fans.
Raving fans, as Mia would say. Raving fans.
Fire, I love that.
Okay? Now you have your sphere of influence. These are people that you met at your son's basketball game, your daughter's soccer game,
networking.
your networking events, social media, your Facebook friends, the people in your phone. Those are your sphere of influence. If you're on a team, when you leave, you bring them with you because you're like, those are my leads. I got them. Those are mine.
Yep.
Those are mine. Those are mine. Those are mine. It's like, that's fine. Those are yours. They're not your circle of influence. Those aren't people that know, like, or trust you. They might know and like you, but they probably don't trust you. They might know you. They might not like you or trust you. Those are your sphere of influence. Those are the people that would be like, wouldn't be weird if like your assistant reached out to them. They're probably getting marketed by 1,000 other agents. And there's a 50-50 chance that you might actually lose out on that business, right? Yeah. Circle of influence, your raving fans, you won't lose that business, no matter how much they get marketed to, because those are your people.
I mean, you may lose it if you don't have the conversation.
Yeah, true.
I mean, the people are so close, like the brother thing, you know, like that we were talking about with Jeremy and stuff like that. Like that's
exactly. But those are the people that you just need to stay relevant with.
And you don't send a template text message. That's exactly what guys, like that's where we're trying to show is that yes, those people, your raving fans, deserve different language and deserve a different cadence to things, right? But again, it does not mean you drop those people off. Everything has to have a next step action to it.
Yep.
Right? It's the same way a portal would hold you accountable to something as well. If you're buying leads from Zillow, they're like, put it in our stage so we know what's happening with it, right?
Yep.
So that's what you guys have to see as
the difference.
Is the difference. And a lot of times it's been skewed because you believe that the 2,000 people on your social is your center of influence.
Yep.
And you're just like, I can't send that message about their real estate plans.
You're wrong.
You know what I mean? So I think it's a big thing to maybe go back to Facebook. And now you start going through and you tally all the people that, again, you just met and you added them on Facebook. If they didn't technically, like, you know what I mean, like family member-wise, and you're associated like that, or friend-wise associated that much with, then it's not in your center of influence.
Yep. And then the other thing is like now you've identified the difference between your circle of influence and your sphere of influence. Now you have your closed clients and your past clients. Okay. A lot of times agents will believe that their past clients are now their sphere of influence. Okay. They think that, okay, well now I closed this person. Yeah, no, it's the same thing. I used to think about that a lot. But the thing is I realized, like, in a sense, of like your closed client is also a past client. They closed. They were your client, which now has been in the past. So if you just understand language, you realize that that's in the past. So that person is now a past client. What is the difference between talking to a closed client and talking to a past client? What's the difference between talking to a sphere of influence and talking to a circle of influence? Okay, you need to differentiate. Your circle of influence is going to be a little different. You don't need to talk to them every 30 days, every 90 days, every six months. You don't necessarily need to. You don't need to necessarily market to them. It's always good to, but you don't necessarily need to because they're your raving fans that will always use you.
And you don't need to market to them. You can maybe have a language, like something sent out to them that you're talking.
Exactly. Now, your sphere of influence, market to them just the same way you'd market to your past clients. It's like 45 to 50% of your past clients or clients in general will not use the same agent twice. So just understand that there's people that you're going to miss out on business. You're going to lose out on 1 to 2 closed businesses or closed transactions a year if you do not talk to your past clients. That's just data. Like that's math is the path. You know what I mean? Like that's there it is. Ibrahim says it perfectly well. Yeah. That's just exactly what it comes down to. You know what I mean?
I think it's math is path.
No, it's math is the path. Well, now we got to cut that.
No, you don't have to cut it. Math is the path.
Yep.
Not the bath?
Nope.
Okay. Thought it was the bath.
Oh, Jesus.
No, I thought it was
Pause right there.
No, go back to it. So I love that you were saying, because let's go back to this. What you were saying right there then, what the problem I think becomes is that past clients almost go back into the sphere because now they haven't reached out to that past client in 5 years.
Yes.
And you have to just start the real estate conversation. If you haven't stayed in, I feel like that's the cadence. If you haven't stayed in touch with your past client, like well enough, and it becomes 5 years, they now become like a sphere because you haven't talked to them. You haven't been keeping in front of them, right? Does that make sense a little bit?
No, it makes perfect sense. No, it does. It makes perfect sense.
If you keep it as a past client, I feel like you can keep them categorized as a past client, but you better be marketing to them as a past client.
The real thing that we're really trying to worry about is the fact is like each person that you know, whatever identification you want to give them of circle, sphere, past, closed, just make sure they have something or make sure they're getting something. Whatever cadence you want to build out, it's going to be better to send something instead of nothing, because always understand that there is someone else in their market or someone else that they know somewhere out in the world. There's going to be a me that does not give a shit what relationship you have with that person. I will send them a text message. I will call them. I will email them. If their data is in my system, I will reach out because I'm not afraid to. You know what I mean? And there are so many people that will look at this like, oh my God, I met this person at Walmart. Oh, it'd be weird if I reached out to them right now. So they're just not going to do it. The more that you overthink it, the more that it'll happen. Kiwi said it well. Kiwi said it the same thing. Client reached back out to us after Kiwi left our team. Lead literally hit us up. And I literally sent it to Kiwi, and Kiwi's like, oh my gosh, I was going to send something to them yesterday. I said, well, guess what? If I was a dick, I wouldn't give this information to you, right? You could fight it all you want. But the thing is like, that's just not me. That's why I'm giving it to you. But understand that there are people that don't feel that way, but that will reach out and will steal that lead from you. It's just facts. So,
and the 4 things that you said right there, COI, SOI, closed, and past client.
Yep.
Can all have marketing and can all have newsletters and can know who you guys are.
Yep.
The people that you have not ever converted should not be getting spammed like that.
Yep.
People that you have not closed or you have not determined as a past client or closed to become a past client or had as a center of influence or a sphere of influence do not belong on stuff that is going to like you guys don't need to have them on newsletters, but guess what they do want before you convert them? Houses. Make sure they're looking at houses, marketing to them with houses. Okay? Remarketing to them with houses.
Yep.
We found out at FubCon, it was great to even see with Jesse. What did people from NAR want to receive information about?
Yep. What is that?
What did they want to receive information about? Remember, Jesse brought it up and said, what was the top thing that people always wanted to be searching for on Google within real estate? It was homes. Just looking at homes.
Yeah, homes.
Looking at houses. They didn't ask for someone's newsletter. They didn't ask for all this other stuff that we have guys, going back to our other thing, overcomplicated so much because we hear so many other people doing it. That's their business model. Yep. Chase Whitley, or is that his name? Or Colton Whitley, the one guy you met with.
Colton Whitney?
Whitney. He is a different beast.
Yeah.
If you're listening to him and he's telling you to do everything, he knows his business model, but he focuses on one thing, solidifies it, builds it, like conquers it, and goes to the next thing. Yep. That man has like so many things he does in his business. So I'm saying, like when you go to FumCon, you learn like, but Ryan, you're telling me the one thing. I'm saying, but he did that one thing, and he's doing it really good, and he knows what's going on with it. He's not doing it sloppy, then doing it sloppy, and then doing it sloppy, and then doing it sloppy with all 5 things, and then he's confused about all 5 things that he's been doing. Yep. Does that make sense of what it was?
No, it makes sense
because it's the simplification, right? The simplification of you should know when you categorize leads, guys, and relationships. Then you can find out the tech you need or what you should be doing. And mainly, most of the time, Travis is going to tell you, it just needs to be talked to.
Yep.
Digital marketers like me, you're going to be like just so obsessed with setting them up on that property search.
Yep.
And remarketing and different things like that, guys. Right? There's just different people with different opinions and different backgrounds that are always going to be telling you something. But ask the hard questions of why you should be doing that. Right? Thank you guys so much. Hope you're able to take something away from that.